Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So in today's video, I want to talk more about Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin right now, okay, we know it's at $30,000. Okay, right now it's coming at 30,500, and it seems like to me that Bitcoin is in fact slowly sort of struggling to break above, $32,000. You know what I mean? It really is, right? We've seen Bitcoin bounce off $31,000 a fair bit of times, right? We seen Bitcoin break up to $31,000 last April, and then it actually got rejected back down to the downside, and then that's when we saw Bitcoin forming this downtrend. And then we saw Bitcoin break above this resistance line back up at $31,000 and actually slightly dropped back down to 30K, and then it touched $31,000 once again. And right now, Bitcoin is in fact breaking down once again from $31,000. So it seems like to me that 31K is a very strong resistance line for Bitcoin. But eventually, guys, Bitcoin will break above, $31,000, and of course, it'll break to, $32,000. We will, in fact, see that very, very soon for Bitcoin. So in this video, guys, I want to explain something, something that we will never see again for Bitcoin. And I've been mentioning this many, many times. A lot of people out there, especially during this time right here, right when Bitcoin was in fact forming this downtrend, this very, very, very slow downtrend for the past few weeks, right? A lot of people were in fact predicting that Bitcoin was gonna drop back down to $20,000, and of course lower than $20,000. People thought we were in fact gonna see Bitcoin break back down to 15K, right, and 16K, its previous lows, and create and reach a new low for this year in 2023, which is absolutely crazy. And I've been telling us as many times that that will never happen. We will never see that again. We will never see Bitcoin at $20,000 or below $20,000 ever again in history. We have already hit bottom, which is right here, and you guys can clearly see, right, Bitcoin is obviously reaching, and of course pumping and forming a new pattern to the upside. You guys can just clearly see that from its lows, right? We know, if we go to the weekly time frame, you guys can clearly see right here, all of 2022 Bitcoin was in fact falling. It dropped like 70%, over 70%, 70 estimated, right, 77% from its previous all-time highs to November, right down here, which is a significant drop. So from that falling wedge, we hit bottom, and now Bitcoin's obviously breaking out from that, and it's forming a new pattern. You guys can just clearly see it right here, right? It's clearly forming a new pattern to the upside, right? Breaking out from its bottom and breaking out from this falling wedge that we have in fact been seeing all of 2022 pretty much, right? So clearly it is in fact breaking out right now, forming a new pattern to the upside, which means it's all ups from here, guys. No way, in Bitcoin history, we have never seen this before, where Bitcoin, right, goes back down to its previous lows. That has never happened in Bitcoin history, right? So pretty much, guys, it's all ups from here. I've been telling you guys that many, many times. It's very, very simple. You guys can just clearly see it in the charts, right? So there's a fair few charts that I want to show you guys in this video, and you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is in fact on track, right? It really is. 2015, you guys can see it pumped. 2019 also had a little pump as well. I say little, this is a pretty decent, significant pump. And then 2023, right, we are in fact seeing a pump as well. So we are in fact in the pre-halving. The halving hasn't officially happened just yet. But after the halving, we're gonna see Bitcoin pump. That's when we're gonna really, really see Bitcoin pump. We all know that, guys. Every single time the halving event happens for Bitcoin, that's where we tend to see Bitcoin pump the most, and of course pump to reach a new all-time high. So Bitcoin is in fact on track right now in the pre-halving events, right? Right now we are in fact seeing some little teaser pumps, some sort of recovery right now from 2022, because all of that year, we have in fact been seeing Bitcoin drop massively. So this year in 2023, we are in fact seeing a slow recovery right now for Bitcoin and other altcoins, right? We really are. So just remember, guys, just remember, a couple of weeks ago, we saw so much FUD in the market, especially with the SEC trying to cause Bitcoin and crypto to crash. Okay, and I told you guys, right? A lot of people were in fact panicking at that time, right? Who remembers, right? The SEC was obviously, suing Coinbase and Binance, right? Two major crypto exchanges, and they were in fact, naming out a fair few crypto tokens, altcoins specifically, right? Securities. Okay, and that obviously caused Bitcoin to crash and of course altcoins to crash massively, right? Literally just a couple of weeks ago. And I told you guys at that very moment that Bitcoin will recover. Okay, you guys can clearly see every single time something negative happens in the world or in the crypto space, Bitcoin will recover. Okay, it will eventually recover. It always does. So we know we had the COVID crash, March 2020. Okay, and we saw Bitcoin dip, right? You guys can clearly see that it just dipped and then it recovered. And then we saw the KuCoin hack crash in August, okay, in 2020. And then that dipped. But then Bitcoin pumped. And then all of 2002, you guys can clearly see it dumped a lot, okay? A lot of many reasons. We saw Celsius, pretty much going bankrupt, closing down and whatnot, right? And of course, Terra Luna crashing, who remembers, right? In May of 2022, bad times. We saw Terra Luna crash. Again, that obviously caused Bitcoin to crash massively in 2022 in the entire cryptocurrency market. And then, of course, we saw the FTX crash, right, in November. And that obviously caused Bitcoin to drop massively back down to 15K, which was, in fact, its bottom. And that obviously recovered. You guys can clearly see that. So with all, and then June, right, the Binance FUD. Early of June this month, okay, we saw, the SEC, suing Binance and Coinbase. And I told you guys at that very moment that Bitcoin will recover. And when I saw, Bitcoin drop, I actually bought more Bitcoin, right? If you guys remembered, okay, I was stacking a whole bunch of Bitcoin. I took that as an opportunity to buy more. And I'm glad I did because Bitcoin was around like, I think 25K, okay? And I took that as an opportunity to buy more, okay? It was just FUD, guys. And I just knew like Bitcoin will eventually recover. Now, literally a couple weeks later, here we are at $30,000. I told you guys as many times that Bitcoin will recover no matter what, okay? So here we are, guys. Bitcoin is now $30,000. And you guys can clearly see this chart really does indicate that we will in fact have a powerful bull run, okay, in the next upcoming few years. So of course the year 2024, which is going to be the Bitcoin halving. And I really do believe towards the end of the year in 2024, we will in fact see Bitcoin reach at least 100K. And of course, that's going to be a new all-time high. And it's not going to stop there. The year 2025 is going to be the ultimate powerful bull run. That's when we will in fact be in a bull market. And that's when we will in fact see Bitcoin pump like crazy. Like what we saw in 2021, we're going to see in 2025 pretty much, right? So the next upcoming few years, guys, it's going to be amazing for Bitcoin and crypto, especially altcoins, right? Altcoins are going to pump like crazy. Okay, who remembers, right? In 2021, we saw a lot of altcoins pump. Pretty much the exact same thing is going to happen in the year 2025. Okay, so 2025 is going to be a great year for Bitcoin and crypto, 100%. So I hope you guys are in fact excited for that, right? For that. Now, shout out to Stock Money Lizards, but he came out with this chart today. And you guys can clearly see, history repeating itself. Okay, it's like clockwork, right? History does sort of rhyme. So 2019 to 2020, you guys can clearly see 2017, Bitcoin reached an all-time high, and then it dropped bottom. And then it sort of recovered, right? And that's what we are in fact seeing right now. We hit bottom, and it's slowly recovering up right now, okay? And then we have the halving, right? We had the halving right here, okay, our most previous halving in 2020. And then literally a couple weeks later, a couple months later, okay, give us some time, we saw the resistance break, and that's when Bitcoin absolutely pumped. Okay, and guess what? That's what's going to happen for the year 2024. And that's why, guys, the next upcoming few years, like what I showed you guys right here, 2024 and 2025, it's going to be some amazing years. Okay, so that's exactly where we are right now. Okay, Bitcoin will eventually recover. And this chart is actually indicating that the resistance line is going to be around $48,000, just below 50K. And I told you guys many times that personally, this year alone in 2023, I do in fact see a 50K Bitcoin, right? Towards the end of this year in 2023, I do in fact see a 50K Bitcoin. So this chart, in my opinion, is pretty realistic, right? In my opinion, right? Who knows where Bitcoin will be heading in the next few months, but it's all ups, guys. Okay, it's all ups from here. You know, people are in fact predicting that Bitcoin will potentially reach 60K in 2023 this year. So we will see. But what happened in 2019 and 2020 will in fact happen, you know, in the next upcoming few years, 2023 and of course 2024, right? And this is going to be, right, where Bitcoin really, really, really pumps. Okay, this is going to be the bull zone pretty much, like what we saw right here after the halving. Okay, every single time we have the halving, that's where Bitcoin tends to pump the most, guys. Okay, so be excited for that for all my Bitcoin holders out there. Now, Michael Saylor, we know Michael Saylor, okay, is a Bitcoin maximus. Okay, he loves Bitcoin. We all know that. Okay, and he's obviously the CEO of MicroStrategy, and we know MicroStrategy holds the most Bitcoin right out there in the world. Okay, I believe. But you guys can clearly see this is the performance since August 10th of 2020 when MicroStrategy was in fact, you know, started to adopt Bitcoin, I believe. And you guys can clearly see the returns from Bitcoin versus gold. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of gold, even though yes, gold has been around for literally decades, for years, and yes, gold does in fact have store of value. I can't say that, right? So if you are in fact investing into gold, there's nothing wrong with it, right? But the thing is, guys, with gold that I don't like is that it doesn't move. You know, gold has been around for literally years, decades, you know what I mean? For the longest time, right? Gold has been around for the longest time and it hasn't really performed. You know, I think the gold price right now is currently at like $1,900. And for the past like few years, let's be honest, like gold hasn't really been moving at all. It really hasn't. Whereas Bitcoin has performed 159% ever since August 10th of 2020. Just think about that, guys. Okay. And literally, right, in 2013, literally 10 years ago, right, Bitcoin was worth $100, just over $100 at one point, right? And I believe that was the first year where we're seeing Bitcoin reach over $100 or even touch $100, right? And now 10 years later, Bitcoin is now worth tens and thousands of dollars. So obviously, guys, you know, over the years, Bitcoin has been performing way better than gold, right? And literally just since August 10th of 2020 to where we are now, Bitcoin has, you know, had a return of 159%, right? So just think about that versus gold, where gold is down actually 6%. So gold doesn't move, okay? And this chart really does just show you guys. So imagine MicroStrategy putting their money into gold versus Bitcoin, right? They would lose way more money in gold than Bitcoin, right? So just think about that, okay? But here's the Fin Greed Index, and it's currently at 55. So, you know, we're still in greed mode, right? If this actually goes back down one, like 54, will be a neutral, right? So we are currently at 55, still holding up very well. It dropped massively yesterday. We were in fact at 64. Now it's at 65, 64. Sorry, 55. But we are still in greed mode, right? Yesterday we were in greed mode, 100% in the green. You guys can clearly see that. But soon enough, guys, we're gonna officially like be around here. We're gonna be like an extreme greed mode. Okay, so exciting times upcoming, right? Exciting times. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. And I told you guys, right? Bitcoin will never, okay, will never go back down to $20,000 or below $20,000 ever again in Bitcoin history. It's all ups from here. So what we're seeing right now with this pattern up to the upside will continue on to the upside, right? It's going to continue on. We're not going to see Bitcoin, you know, drop massively back down to the downside, okay? We'll never see Bitcoin drop, you know, back down to 20K or below 20K ever again, okay? Because I feel like a lot of people out there are still predicting that Bitcoin can do this. If Bitcoin were to have a correction, it's going to be a small correction, right? It's not going to be anything too major, in my opinion, right? So it's all ups from here, guys, okay? It really, really is. So we'll never see this again for Bitcoin at 20K. We'll never see a 20K Bitcoin ever again, guys, okay, in history. That's just my personal opinion. You guys let me know in the comments below how do you guys feel. But you guys can clearly see that this continuation of these rallies that we have in fact been seeing all of 2023, it's going to continue, okay? And right now you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is in fact consolidating, but I think this will end very soon and we're going to see Bitcoin break above Okay, so we will see, time will tell. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Give thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not yet already. I really would appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a blessed day, guys.